Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival.
All right, that was Wicked Sensation off of the new reimagined Wicked Sensation album by Lynch Mob. And on the phone, we got none other than the guy who named that album, named that group, George Lynch. How you doing, George?
Good. Well, and also unnamed at that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You unnamed it. I mean, I can understand why. Why, totally, you know. And but now, how did this project come about as far as reimagined instead of like a whole album of new material for the last Lynch Mob album?
Well, I wouldn't say that it was premeditated. But in hindsight, after we had finished the record, it just seemed to be sort of a happy accident. Like, well, this is sort of meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
We started out in 1989, 1990, working on pre-production for Wicked Sensation, which is our biggest record.
Mm-hmm.
Most well-known record, and then exactly 30 years later, we're, sort of re-exploring that record and playing with it and coming out with a fun alternative version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed like a perfect bookend to end the chapter, of the story of the band.
Yeah.
And then and after finishing the record and looking at everything. In hindsight, I thought, well, considering what's going on in the world right now with COVID and then, deciding to let the name go.
Mm-hmm.
And then now doing this record, which seems like a perfect kind of a way to get out, It's a sort of perfect swan song. Everything just lined up, and it just sort of, the answer was right there. I was like, this is really I think a good way to leave it. I think personally, it's just ending the story with an all original record wouldn't seem so final.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that you conceived of this idea before.
Yeah.
This wasn't the plan, but it just seemed to work out that way. So.
Okay, so besides Oni Logan, who else is playing on this album?
We've got Brian Tichy on drums.
He's awesome.
And Robbie Crane on bass.
Okay.
And I have to give Brian a shout-out and kudos for really going above and beyond as far as getting involved with the arrangements and the sounds and the performances, and really acted on at least half the record as a full-on producer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he did a magnificent job, and was really hadn't even discussed that with him. It's just when we started working together, that's what happened.
Yeah,
and he did what just comes natural, and he did a really fantastic job.
Nice. Yeah, it's got a definite groove. Different groove to it, which is pretty cool. I'm liking it a lot. Now, your guitar tones are a lot less aggressive on this album. Was that something you were going for, or is that just how it happened?
That's just me getting older and wiser, and I don't know. I'm just following my tastes in music and not really wanting to chase past aspirations and really just, I gotta say, throughout my career, when I've listened to other music that I like and music that I've listened to for inspiration, I've always, been challenged by, guitar tones that I really admire and trying to emulate them or learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
And, whether it's, AC/DC, Van Halen, bunch of the guys like Robert Ford, kind of the Blues Cats, jazz cats, or fusion guys. Eric Johnson, guys that are just we all look up to and just have incredible tone. In most cases, they're not over the top as far as gain and distortion, and I've always played with more gain than I probably should have, I should say, considering what I was going for. So it's just been a learning process for me, and it's just been this learning curve over the years that I've just learned things, and I keep experimenting with things that allow the emotion to shine through. And a lot of times I think if you have too much gain or distortion, that gets in the way.
Yeah.
In one sense, it'll facilitate more acrobatic playing, because it's easier to play with more gain. But it's less expressive, I think.
Yeah. That's about right. Now, you use some different instrumentation. Like, is that a dobro I'm hearing on All I Want at the beginning there? With some slide and stuff?
Yeah. I have a National resonator, tricone resonator, but it's baritone.
Oh, okay.
And then I can't remember exactly what guitar I used for the All I Want slide stuff, but it was open G tune.
Oh, okay. Now, you even threw a little bit of talking box in there. Now, you don't hear a lot of talk box anymore. Do you think that's kind of, just overlooked a lot nowadays as far as an effect for guitarists to, express themselves?
It's not something that you can use too often. Unless you're Peter Frampton or Bill Walsh. And, it's kind of a limited thing. You use it here or there for an effect. I've never used one on a recording that I can remember. So, I get my one shot. I think, anytime anybody uses it now, basically it sounds like you're just channeling Frampton, or Rocky Mountain Way, which I actually did on the solo. I actually plagiarized note for note a little bit of the Rocky Mountain Way solo, just not even consciously. It just kind of happened because I had that sound and it was kind of the same groove, and I was like, oh shit, I'm playing Rocky Mountain Way. No, I'm playing all I Want.
It worked out.
Yeah. But it's and again, that was Brian's suggestion, and he was actually doing the talking part of the talk box.
All right. So with this being the end of the Lynch Mob era, Oni sounds great on this album too. He sounds just as fresh as 30 years ago. Are there still plans to work with Oni on something else maybe in the future?
Not really. That's Lynch Mob, and I don't really see anything. You never say never. Who knows?
Yeah.
I can't say for sure. Who knows? Something might come up, but at this point, I really don't see anything else happening. I've got so many other projects that I can refocus on now that require a lot of my time. I've got a new KXM record that we're going to be working on coming up here shortly.
Cool.
We're in the middle of the second The End Machine record with Robert Mason and Jeff Pilson and myself. I got a record coming out. Jeff Pilson and I did with a lot of guest artists called Heavy Hitters, which is us doing creative cover versions of top 40 hits over the past 5 decades. So 2 songs from each decade of the past 50 years.
Wow.
So everything from Little Richard to Madonna to, there's just a huge variety of stuff in there.
Oh.
Really interesting record, and it was a lot of fun to do.
Cool.
So it's called Heavy Hitters. That'll be coming out in January.
Oh, cool.
I also have a solo record, instrumental solo record, first one I've ever done, called Seamless, and that'll be coming out this fall.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, I think I'm missing something here. There I am, but I don't want to, clutter it up.
Well, we dig the Dirty Shirley stuff we heard. We dig that album, too. That was really good. Any plans?
There's talk about doing another Dirty Shirley, and there's also talk of doing another Sweet and Lynch record, a third Sweet and Lynch record. So Michael and I have been talking about that. So,
cool.
I've got a lot on my plate, and
sounds like it.
Since touring isn't really going to be a thing for a minute here, Lynch Mob's main thing was my touring vehicle.
Yeah.
And without touring, really, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
That's just another band,
Yeah.
Another project. So, and I'm not going to use the name ever again. So, my idea is to, when touring does come back, if I go back out, start something completely new. I was thinking of something with a little larger band format, and then to be able to go up and not just be Lynch Mob and with throwing in some Dawkins songs, really play anything I want from anywhere in my 50-year, 45-year career. I could just pull songs from anything, and I could play KXM songs if I want. I could play Dirty Shirley songs if I want. I could play Exciter songs, or I could jam. I could play covers. I could do anything. So I really think that would be fun. But it's just nothing set in stone. I don't know what I'm going to do at this point, but it's fun to think about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody, with all the extra time everybody's got, have you found any new well, you're so busy with the music nowadays. Are you still doing the guitar body carving stuff?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Scary Guitars, absolutely. I'm very busy with that. Yeah, it's doing phenomenally well. I mean, for just, a home-grown little business, it's I've been doing it now about 10 years, and keeps me really busy. Yeah.
Cool. Now, seeing how, you can't tour, can't go out and play live, but now thinking back, is there any songs that you wanted to play live that you didn't play live? Or
well, there's two answers to that. One is you're limited by the fact that in today's environment, you can't really rehearse, even if you do go out. I mean, you can't get together in a room and, in a confined space and sit there and breathe hard and sing and give each other COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's that. So there's, I did play Sturgis recently. It was all outdoor stage. I didn't have any contact with anybody. But again, the band was unrehearsed. We didn't get together. We didn't play anything beforehand. We didn't sit around with acoustic guitars out in the backyard or anything. We just stayed away from each other, and we met on stage, and we played. Everybody had to do their homework before they got there. And it went off really well, but considering. But, when you don't have rehearsals is when you get together and you explore new material and new ideas. And if you don't have those rehearsals, then you really can't do that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you're limited by, the members' ability to perform, or if they know the song. So, and usually that's a singer. Singer will say, well, that song's, it's not something I want to sing, or it's not something I can sing. It's not my range, or I'm not comfortable with it. Or sometimes it's not a song that I really want to sing because another singer sang it or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That quite a bit too. So, you have other people dictating to you what you can and can't play.
Yeah.
So, That can be very limiting.
Yeah, I can understand that. Now, a lot of artists are